So hello, I'm here today to show you some things about adding papers for students and also about how to group students for the peer response activities. So I'm here in a Blackboard shell. The first thing that I need to do is go over to the MindTap links, or you can use your ebook, whatever you have, basically any one of the links that goes over to the Cengage side. I'm going to go into the course and I'm going to see what's here. So I'm in the view that lets me look at the papers. I've actually changed the due date for the first paper a little bit because it's kind of hard to put the things in after the due date. If I click on Essay 1 Submission, I can look at it and I can submit a paper for a student. I can see also who's here when it gets done cycling. So I have a lot of papers that have been uploaded by people. And if I need to put anyone else's paper in there, in fact I did this for DeAndre Matthews a little bit ago, you click submit a paper and you click the down arrow and you select the student that you want to submit for. I'll do this now. I won't actually put it in because he's done one. You can type anything you want here in this. I just would type SA1 and then choose a file, and it may be a file that you were sent, and that's kind of what I did. I'm going to cancel out of this because, as I said, I don't want to mess Austin Roberts up. But I will tell you that some people are not going to show up in this list. And the reason for that is if they have not gotten into MindTap at all, or especially or even if they have, but they haven't gone into this particular assignment and clicked on it before the due date, they're not going to be listed as someone that you can upload for. So let your students know that. Maybe I would suggest maybe extending the due date out another day if you have some people who are really struggling with this, at least the first time out. But that's kind of up to you. So with that in mind, I'm going to cancel out of this, and with the papers that I have now, I want to, for the next module, put them into groups so that they can respond to each other's papers. So I'm going to X out of this so that I'm back here. I'm going to go from sort of this date manager view to the unit view. I'm going to click here and I want to go to module 3, which is where the peer response is due. The way that you deal with this is you're going to go to the pencil that's here and click on it. It's going to tell you can't edit some things, but you can. You're going to go to View Options, and you're going to come in here and continue for right now. All of this is set up. Some things that I thought would be set up seem not to be, so you may have to do this manually. Luckily, it's not that difficult once you've done it a couple of times. I just did it a minute ago. You can type some instructions here, like please, I'll type it later, but please review the things that you're supposed to review. If the feedback date is pretty far after when the assignment is due, you can change this. I would do that first, in fact. My stuff is due on August the 28th. I'm going to make the release to the students happen at 7 o'clock in the morning on the 29th. And so I click on that, and now it's changed. Here's the next thing. For additional settings, click that sort of link. You're going to basically need to let all of these be checked. I don't know why they're not checked now, but I'd go ahead and do them all. And then here it says distribution of papers. Right now, everyone is getting only one. I would suggest that you look and see how many papers you have and make it somewhere between 4 and 6 papers that people need to review. If you don't want to do that many the first time, you could do 3. I did 4 for my first set. And I'm also going to allow students to select 4. Honestly, I don't know if that means that they get to do 8 total or not. I'll find that. I'm not making them do self-review though. But that's what I've set so that they can at least get started and we can see how it works. So once you've done that, you click close, you click save and continue. And then the next thing is the peer mark questions. For the library settings, you're going to add from peer response 1. So you're going to click on library settings, click on add from library, click peer response 1. Now you got a bunch of questions here. toggle them all to turn them on and add them. This is something that I'm not sure why it's not there, because it was set up this way in the master. But so you do those, and then I didn't click on, and then distribution, you can see what's happened here. Everybody who's turned in a paper has got 4 that are assigned by the system, and that goes through. And then people who did not submit a paper can still get into this assignment theoretically and choose 4 of them to do for themselves, even if they didn't submit a draft. So once you've done that, you click Done with PureMark, and now this is all here. You save it at the bottom, and now it's set. So they should be able to get started on it. The last thing I need to tell you is your students are going to really freak out when the grades flow to the gradebook from the draft, because even if they did it once the due date hits, until you grade something over there, it's going to be a 0 in the gradebook in Blackboard. Sorry about that. There's still something I need to check on, so I'll do a different video about how to grade those in the gradebook that's over here. It's not that difficult, but there's something that I want to check on before I do that as a video. But I wanted to get this into your hands now, since I know some of you have essays that are coming due, and you wanted to kind of see how to do the peer responses. I think until you actually have students in the peer response stuff, you really can't go and edit a lot of that, but if you want to try to do that in your class and see what happens, by all means go for it and let me know how it works out. Thanks a lot again for your patience and your being willing to learn all this stuff with me, and please contact me if you have any questions. Thanks.